It was Christmas time on the island of Sodor. Engines were very busy with their trains, delivering trucks and passengers to all the stations. The mountain villagers were excited. A Christmas present delivery was to be taken up to the village. The Fat Controller came to see the engines.
The Christmas delivery to the mountain village is ready to be collected,
he said.
I will need an engine to take the train.
Thomas hoped that he would be chosen. He loved going up to the mountain village. It was one of his favourite places.
The engine that will take the train will be Percy,
said the Fat Controller. Percy was so happy he blew his whistle cheerfully. Thomas was shocked. He thought he should be the engine to take the train.
But I wanted to go to the mountain village,
he moaned.
Why was Percy chosen? Because he has worked very hard with the mail train,
replied the Fat Controller.
He has worked harder than any other engine. But sir, stuttered Thomas. Really useful engines don't argue,
said the Fat Controller. And he left. Percy felt very proud of himself. I must take on coal and water, he said. Then I will go and collect the truck. Thomas watched as Percy puffed away. He felt very disappointed. Then he had an idea.
I have plenty of coal and water,
he said.
I can pick up the truck and still go to the mountain village.
Thomas set off for the docks. As he puffed along, he was thinking about the present truck.
I can't wait to make my delivery,
he thought to himself. Soon he arrived at the docks. He looked for the truck and then he found it. It was piled high with presents and it was in a bright blue truck.
It's wonderful,
he smiled. He buffered up to the front of the truck and was coupled up.
Now, to make my delivery,
he smiled. And he puffed out of the docks. Suddenly Salty arrived and saw the truck being taken by Thomas. He tooted his horn.
Stop, Thomas!
he cried.
Come back!
But Thomas didn't hear Salty, and he hurried away. Thomas puffed along the line looking forward to getting to the mountain village. He was thinking about the happy faces he would see at the station. He whistled happily as he passed some children. They cheered and waved to him. Thomas was very happy.
Pulling the present delivery is a wonderful job,
he beamed. Meanwhile, Percy arrived at the docks to look for the present truck, but it was nowhere to be seen. Where's it gone? he wondered. Percy puffed up to Salty. He was looking worried. Where's the present truck gone? he asked.
Oh dear,
sighed Salty.
I saw Thomas taking it away.
Percy gasped in shock. Thomas! he cried.
I tried to stop him, but he didn't hear me,
groaned Salty. Percy was cross. Now Thomas had taken his special job away. I'll stop Thomas before he gets there, he huffed. So Percy raced off as fast as he could.
Be careful, me hearty,
called Salty. Percy set off for the chase. Thomas was having a wonderful time. With every puff and wheel turn, he was getting closer to the mountain village. Then he saw Mavis in a siding. She saw Thomas and tooted him to stop. But Thomas didn't want to stop. He wanted to make the delivery. Stop, Thomas! tooted Mavis loudly. Thomas applied his brakes and slowed to a stop. Be careful when you go up that track, she warned. The tracks ahead are icy and it will be a tough job to get up the hill. Thomas was worried. He didn't like icy tracks. They always caused him trouble. I suggest you wait for a back engine, suggested Mavis. Then you can get up the hill better. But Thomas thought the icy tracks wouldn't be too much trouble for him.
A little bit of ice won't stop me, he smiled. I can get up the hill quite easily.
And he puffed away, leaving Mavis at a loss for words. You'll be in trouble, she cried. But Thomas took no notice. As Thomas puffed up the hill, his wheels slipped on the icy rails. Thomas was determined to get up the hill.
I must do it, I must do it,
he puffed to himself. He was so busy trying to get up the hill, he didn't hear the clumping, groan and creak. The truck felt heavy as Thomas puffed on. Then Thomas heard a whistle from behind.
Bust my buffers,
he cried.
It's Percy!
Suddenly his wheels slipped and slid, then the truck bumped into him and the coupling broke. Thomas watched as the truck flew back down the hill. Percy was coming up the hill when he heard the rattle and the clatter of wheels. Then he saw the runaway truck speeding towards him. "Look out!" he cried. The sycamore switched the points and the truck ran into a siding. With a big bump, the truck hit the croppers and fell off the track. All the prisoners flew out of the truck and into the snow. When Thomas arrived, he was upset.
Oh no!
He cried.
What a mess!
Percy stared crossly at Thomas. "This was meant to be my train," he moaned. "Now you've spoiled everything. The mountain village will be upset now." Thomas felt very silly. He knew it was all his fault. When the Fat Controller heard the news, he sent Dart to the rescue with the breakdown crane. When he arrived, he was surprised. "Oh dear," he said. "Who's responsible for this?" "Thomas is," huffed Percy.
I'm very sorry, Percy.
Moaned Thomas.
I was upset because I wanted to go to the mountain village, and I thought the present delivery could be a very good reason for me to go up there.
Percy listened, but was still cross. "Why didn't you ask if you could share the train?" asked Dart.
Because I knew Percy would say no,
replied Thomas. "No, I wouldn't," said Percy. "I would happily have shared my train with you, but I'm not sure I want to now." While Dart and the workmen helped to clear off the presents, the breakdown crane lifted the truck back onto the track. Soon the train was ready again and Percy was coupled up. "Now I can go to the mountain village," he grinned. Thomas felt very bad about what he had done. Then he remembered what Mavis had said.
Percy, I think you'll need help going up the hill,
he said. He told Percy what Mavis had said. Now Percy was concerned.
Please, can I be your back engine?
Asked Thomas.
I promise I won't make any more trouble for you.
Percy thought this was a good idea. But only if you're prepared to listen, he said sternly. Thomas agreed and was coupled up to the train. Then the two engines set off once more up the hill. "Good luck," tooted Dart. Together the two engines huffed and puffed up the hill. The tracks were still icy and the hill was steep, but Thomas and Percy didn't give up. Then at last they reached the top. They were very relieved. "It's a flat track to the mountain village now," whistled Percy. "Take it nice and steady."
Anything you say,
chuffed Thomas. After a short ride they reached the village. The two engines whistled as they entered the station. Everyone cheered to see the present truck. The Fat Controller came to the engines. He spoke sternly to Thomas.
I heard about what you did, Thomas,
he said,
and I'm very upset with you. You took a train that wasn't yours and caused an accident on the hill. I'm sorry, sir,
said Thomas sadly.
I knew you liked coming here,
the Fat Controller continued,
but you must learn to accept orders when they are given, and it would help to ask next time if you want to share a special train.
Thomas knew that the Fat Controller was right.
I'm sorry I caused you trouble, Percy,
he said to Percy.
I let my jealousy get to me.
It's alright, said Percy. Just think more next time. Thomas agreed, and as he watched the presents being handed out, he felt a very wiser and thoughtful Thomas indeed.